In this video, we're going to talk about top 10 origin stories of Walt Disney. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Walter Elias Disney was an American animator, film producer, and entrepreneur, a pioneer of the American animation industry. He introduced several developments in the production of cartoons. As a film producer, he holds the record for most Academy Awards earned and nominations by an individual, having won 22 Oscars from 59 nominations. Born in Chicago in 1901, Disney developed an early interest in drawing. He took art classes as a boy and got a job as a commercial illustrator at the age of 18. He moved to California in the early 1920s and set up the Disney Brothers studio with his brother Roy. With iWorks, he developed the character Mickey Mouse in 1928, his first highly popular success. He also provided the voice for his creation in the early years. In 1911, the Disneys moved to Kansas City, Missouri. There, Disney attended the Benton Grammar School, where he met fellow student Walter Pfeiffer, who came from a family of theater fans and introduced him to the world of vaudeville and motion pictures. Early career 1920 to 1928. Walt Disney's business envelope featured a self-portrait 1921. In January 1920, as Pesman Rubin's revenue declined after Christmas, Disney, aged 18, and iWorks were laid off. They started their own business, the short-lived iWorks Disney Commercial Artists. Failing to attract many customers, Disney and iWorks agreed that Disney should leave temporarily. The following month, iWorks, who was not able to run their business alone, also joined. The company produced commercials using the cutout animation technique. Their main client was the local Newman Theater, and the short cartoons they produced were sold as Newman's Laugh-O-Grams. Creation of Mickey Mouse to the first Academy Awards 1928 to 1933. To replace Oswald, Disney and iWorks developed Mickey Mouse, possibly inspired by a pet mouse that Disney had adopted while working in his Laugh-O-Gram studio, although the origins of the character are unclear. Disney's original choice of name was Mortimer Mouse, but his wife Lillian thought it too pompous and suggested Mickey instead. In the words of one Disney employee, "I've designed Mickey's physical appearance, but Walt gave him his soul." The first appearance of Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie 1928. Mickey Mouse first appeared in May 1928 as a single test screening of the short Plain Crazy, but it, and the second feature, The Gallop and Gout Show, failed to find a distributor. Following the 1927 sensation The Jazz Singer, Disney used synchronized sound on the third shirt, Steamboat Willie, to create the first post-produced sound cartoon. After the animation was complete, Disney signed a contract with the former executive of Universal Pictures, Pat Powers, to use the Powers Cinephone recording system. Cinephone became the new distributor for Disney's early sound cartoons, which soon became popular. Golden Age of Animation, 1934 to 941. Walt Disney sits in front of a set of models of the Seven Dwarfs. Walt Disney introduces each of the Seven Dwarfs in a scene from the original 1937 Snow White theatrical trailer. By 1934, Disney had become dissatisfied with producing formulaic cartoon shorts and believed a feature-length cartoon would be more profitable. To portray the changing perspective of the background as a camera moved through a scene, Disney's animators developed a multi-plane camera which allowed drawings on pieces of glass to be set at various distances from the camera, creating an illusion of depth. World War II and Beyond 1941 to 1950. Disney drawing Goofy for a group of girls in Argentina, 1941. Shortly after the release of Dumbo in October 1941, the U.S. entered World War II. Disney formed the Walt Disney Training Films unit within the company to produce instruction films for the military, such as 4 methods of flush riveting and aircraft production methods. Disney also met with Henry Morgenthau Journal, the Secretary of the Treasury, and agreed to produce Sure Donald Duck cartoons to promote war bonds. Disney also produced several propaganda productions, including shorts such as Dare Feuer's Face, which won an Academy Award, and the 1943 feature film Victory Through Air Power. Theme parks, television, and other interests 1950 to 1966. In early 1950, Disney produced Cinderella, his studio's first animated feature in 8 years. It was popular with critics and theater audiences. Costing $2.2 million to produce, it turned nearly $8 million in its first year. Disney was less involved than he had been with previous pictures because of his involvement in his first entirely live-action feature, Treasure Island, which was shot in Britain. As was the story of Robin Hood and his merry men, other all-live-action features followed, many of which had patriotic themes: illness, death, and aftermath. A gravestone inscribed Walter Elias Disney, Lillian Bounds Disney, Robert B. Brown, Sharon Disney Brownland, ashes scattered in Paradise, a grave of Walt Disney at Forest Lawn, Glendale. His remains were cremated 2 days later, and his ashes interred at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. Personal life and character. Early in 1925, Disney hired an ink artist, Lillian Bounds. They married in July of that year at her brother's house in her hometown of Lewiston, Idaho. The marriage was generally happy, according to Lillian, although according to Disney's biographer Neil Gabler, she did not accept Walt's decisions meekly or his status unquestionably, and she admitted that he was always telling people how henpecked he is. Lillian had little interest in films or the Hollywood social scene, and she was, in the words of the historian Stephen Watts, content with household management and providing support for her husband. Reputation. A portrait of Disney with cartoon representations of different nationalities on a 6-cent U.S. stamp, 1968 U.S. postage stamp. Views of Disney and his work have changed over the decades, and there have been polarized opinions. Mark Langer, in the American Dictionary of National Biography, writes that earlier evaluations of Disney hailed him as a patriot, folk artist, and popularizer of culture. More recently, Disney has been regarded as a paradigm of American imperialism and intolerance, as well as a debaser of culture. Stephen Watts wrote that some denounce Disney as a cynical manipulator of cultural and commercial formulas, while PBS records that critics have censured his work because of its smooth facade of sentimentality and stubborn optimism. Its feel-good Ray Wright of American History Awards and Honors. A black and white photograph of Walt Disney standing, holding an Academy Award. Disney in 1953, winning the Academy Award for Best Live-Action Short Film for Waterbirds. Disney received 59 Academy Award nominations, including 22 awards. Both totals are records. He was nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards, but did not win. But he was presented with 2 Special Achievement Awards for Bambi 1942 and The Living Desert 1953 and the Cecil B. DeMille Award. He also received 4 Emmy Award nominations, winning once for Best Producer for the Disney and television series. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.